Welcome back. I know you're like, where she has she been? Well, I kind of took the summer off. Last time you saw me was the Father's Day show, but I'm back. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff you got to catch up with, and you can see I'm a little lighter than I was, and I don't mean my color. I mean my weight. I've been going to the gym 3 times a week with Maurice, my cousin, and I'm doing pretty decent with the dieting. The dogs, I lost my little Nelly. All of those that are on Facebook, you kind of know that. But Nelly lived a long life. She was from my first litter that I delivered here in this house. Um, and she was De Niro's litter mate that you hear me talk about. And Nellie also was a show dog. She had points. She was pointed as well. Um, but it was a good summer, and I didn't think Nellie would make it past her birthday in April, but here she made it 100, like 105. She was in April in dog years, and so she made it like almost 6 months. So that's like 108. My little baby, my badass baby. That dog was she was a monster. She started trouble since she was born. She used to break out of the whelping box and run up on my mother. She would sneak, run her back legs and put her front legs over the pin and run her back legs and flip herself out of the whelping pin and sneak around and get down the stairs across the living room into the sun porch where mommy was, and she would pull herself up on the sheets and goose my mother every day. She was, and then at the end, I was her hospice nurse. And so Nellie would act like she couldn't walk when I was home. She'd bark and get the other dogs, like she was saying, go get the hospice nurse. Tell her I can't get up. I need her to come and get me up. But then when I go to work and check on the cameras, Nellie was walking around. Nellie would be asleep and come busting into the room like, where's the party at? That's Nellie. So I take my hat off to Nellie. She ran the house she got her name because my father's sister, her name was Nellie. She had 4 brothers. Like my Nellie had 4 boy litter mates, and she ran them just like my aunt Sis did. So we named her Nellie. My aunt Sis used to tell people that we named her Nellie because we wanted to call her a bee. And then she would say, now bring that bee over here so I could see her. And so I would take Nellie to her house and she would feed her people food. Um, but she acted just like my aunt said. She was crazy. Bad. A badass. So I lost my Nellie. I lost some weight. I had some fun. Um, One of my friends from IBM, Sharon Herring, she worked in IBM Credit Corp when I was at IBM on the ADP account, which was the largest account in the region, in this Northeast region. And she had me for IBM Credit Corp deals, which we did a lot of them. And I have been talking to her on the phone, but we hadn't seen each other in like 20 years. She came to visit me and she fell in love with the animals. We had a really good time. She stayed for a little while. We had a really good time, and she ended up loving all my animals. And I think my cat wanted to pack his bag and go to North Carolina with her. Um, so I had a good summer, and I was running around and going to the gym and trying to diet and, just doing my thing. So now I'm back so I can mess with y'all some more. Okay, so here we go. You know I got to do my facial. And by the way, those that are interested, Mary Kay changed the retinol product. They made theirs weaker, so you don't have to do the 8 week retinization process anymore. They took it from 3.5 to point zero 0.03, so you could just start it. And I'm still using, because I have well, you know how long that retinol was last. I went on to my second. All that time I was on 50 some odd weeks. I hadn't used up all of my retinol the first set. So I did open a second set during the summer, and so I'm still on point zero 0.05 myself. But now you don't have to go through the retinization process anymore. You can go straight in, because they down leveled the strength of the retinol, and made it so you could be at point 0.3. I think that's what the industry was doing. I think we were the only one with a retinization process, because you can not, well, kind of, you can OD yourself on the retinol if you do it incorrectly. That's why they had what they called the retinization process, where they told you to 1 day a week, 2 days a week. And then once you got to that point, you could you could do retinol 3 to 5 times a week. And remember, I was just doing it 3 times a week, and I was very happy with my progress. So, I'm sorry, guys. I am happy to be back and seeing you guys. My I'll tell you the truth. I'm not gonna do 3 times a week. I'm probably gonna do 2 times a week, maybe. Well, today is Wednesday, and I'll probably go on Saturday. I gotta figure out what days though are best, but I'm gonna do 2 days a week now that I'm back, and the firming and the retinol. You know, you know how I do. But I had a good time this summer. I won't deny it. It it was kind of wonderful running around, being off, because last year I was off, but we had to come back to work for new teacher orientation. But this year we didn't do anything. We didn't do boot camp. We did boot camp last year. It was supposed to be our 10th annual boot camp, but actually they didn't have funding for it. And it's a technology boot camp that we do in Elizabeth. And we have 4 coaches, and we used about maybe 8 teachers to help us teach. And we taught 4 days from 8 to 3, classes that were an hour. But we didn't do it this year for the first time. It would have been the 10th annual. But it was okay, because I enjoyed my summer. I really did. And when Sharon came up here, she came in August, and hung out with me and the Scranimals at the end of Nellie's life. Nellie passed after she left, though. It was probably best, because Sharon, she's a crybaby too, like me. And I oh okay, eyes. I'm sorry. Here we go. I um I had so much fun with her, though. I hadn't seen her in so long. And Sharon is a hoot, honey. She will have you crying, laughing, and she did. And Sharon is from New Jersey originally, but South Jersey, and she has friends up here in the Newark area. So we saw one of her friends, Cassandra, and went out to dinner. And Cassandra came over another night to hang out, and I cooked for Sharon. She wanted to kill me at one point because we were both dieting, but I was making barbecue ribs and salmon with spinach and avocado stuffing. It was like we were going berserk. Collard greens, mac and cheese. So it kind of got crazy, but she had a good time. Okay, yes, I got the right. She had a good time, and I did too. And what's funny, Maurice was like, she ain't coming back because you got them animals. Yeah, right. Sharon had fun with the animals, and they would turn her out when I was not here. It was hysterical because Shalimar would cry when I wasn't here. She was driving her crazy. And Zuki, Zuki don't like nobody, so that was hysterical too. But it was fun. We had fun. And so there you go. It was pretty good this summer. So I'll be back. I got my stories. So I will work it out, but I think you'll see me on Saturday. Okay. Mary Kay Smooth. When I come back on Saturday, we're going to talk about this. I don't want to call. I am a senior citizen. The senior citizen face, and you can see the senior citizen face is kind of hanging in with the Mary Kay skincare. So we're going to go over a little of that, but I always have my stories. Okay. I got a couple for you all to make you laugh. Okay.